Hey, it's Jen again. I'm showing up real and raw again. Um, I wanted to share, I'm reading a book called A Well-Lived Life. Um, it's Dr. Gladys, and I can't think of her last name, but it's easy to find. She's a 102-year-old doctor who shares from her life in that book and gives a lot of great lessons. And so yesterday's lesson, she had you take a memory from your life that is kind of that taught you a lesson, but it was easier. Like you're not going to have a strong emotional response to it. And then apply it to something that's going on now in your life. Well, I had this memory of as a kid, I was canoeing down a creek, and a less experienced person was with me, and she fell out of her canoe. And my dad was also there, and she was clinging to a log. Now, mind you, she could have stood up. The water was shallow enough where she could have stood up and been fine, but she was so afraid of drowning that she was clinging to this log. And it was like a false sense of security for her. The better thing for her would be to let go of this thing that she thought was holding her up, that was keeping her safe, but her real freedom was coming and letting go of that thing. And so I applied that to my life now. So, you know, I've lived now 50 years, and there are certain things that I believe or have, I want to say, have developed into believing that they're security. And whether that's just a thought process or a physical thing, for me, there are a lot of thought processes that I have held on to, ways of being that I've held on to, ways of showing up in my life or not showing up in my life that have felt secure and safe. And so I applied the message of letting go. Just let go of that idea. Relax, let go. And again, just in sharing resources and being of value to you, I want to share another thing that I had a neighbor expressed to me a long time ago. I want to say at least 4 or 5 years ago. She shared that she went into a salt float tank. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a tank of water that kind of closes over you like a tanning bed, only it's a lot bigger than that. And it has so much Epsom salt in it that you float regardless. You don't have to try to float, you just automatically float. And you can set up times to be in there, and it's kind of like this sensory deprivation situation where you can have music in there, you can have light in there, but I chose not to. And you're just alone and but cocooned in this little space. And in that experience, I did this in St. Augustine, Florida, but they have them in a lot of places. My body felt amazing, but B, I'm like watching the birds and things on this wire, like moving it around. Oh my word. Anyway, how weird, but cool. I don't know. Anyway, so when you do that, I did it, and my message that I got while I was laying in there was to let go. So whatever it is that you have that you're holding on to that you think is this big sense of security, question your assumption. Maybe if you let go of that very thing, just let go. It doesn't mean you're going to do anything magnificent, but just like mentally, just free yourself and go, okay, be open to the idea that maybe if I let go, that's where my freedom is. And I can just go under the log, stand up, and enjoy the rest of the ride. So, again, for me, that's a bunch of thought processes where I catch myself in worry, or I catch myself in just trying to do and not enjoy. So I wanted to leave you with a letting go idea and also a book recommendation, and maybe you'll try a salt float. Have a good one.